Okay, there we go. Good Jacob there. Yeah, we're good. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Go. Oh. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome along to Bahrain Basketball Stadium here from Hobart. It is the New Balance University Basketball League Grand Final between the University of Sunshine Coast and the University of Tasmania. Roll Riggs in commentary with you here for this afternoon's matchup. And I tell you what, this game is going to be an absolute ripper, folks. Can the University of Tasmania do what their men's counterpart did last night and get the win? Of course, in the men's grand final of the New Balance University Basketball League Grand Final, it was the University of Tasmania winning by 9 in the end, 79-70. And a few of the UTAS boys already in here to cheer on the girls. They had a very late flight back home, and late flight back home, I should say, last night. But they're here in force and in spirit with lots of things up there, which we'll talk about during the commentary. Meanwhile, University of Sunshine Coast working wonders in their finals to make it through. We'll try and get some results up for you and show you the path of where they got to. Of course, welcome along to UniSport TV. Sign up for a free county. You can watch this game or you can watch the men's game back, which I need to make sure I do. And you can certainly get amongst it in the results. So we're just trying to launch the results up. There's been some activity going on around the place here this afternoon, folks. The atmosphere has been electric, that is for sure. And we're just working our way through the system now. Of course, we've got the men's results there. We'll try and get the women up because that's what we'll talk about. And we'll get Jacob Dool in as well too very shortly indeed. I don't know if I do that. Yep. Of course, the University of Sunshine Coast worked their way through nicely. Got the win over the University of Melbourne, 91-76, and of course UTAS getting the win over the University of Sydney, 94-72, and these teams now meet in the grand final. I think Jacob's ready to go.
Yes, good to be here, Ronnie.
Yeah, just bring that mic up a little bit closer. Yep. Yep.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
We're on. Okay.
Yep.
Exciting to be here, isn't it? It's a massive game of basketball. Spoken about it all season. How exciting the opportunity is for UTAS to take home a national title in the Uni Basketball League. We've seen the men take theirs home. Now we've got a chance for what would be a historic double. Absolutely. And
some of the information that we got prior to all this, Jacob, was good to see some information. We got a quality player here in Aaron Bolam, who plays for the Sunshine Coast Phoenix in the NBL 1, but also is a defensive player of the year twice when we got the information through last night.
Yeah, and I think it's a big inclusion, isn't it? Because we saw last time these two teams met, it was a comfortable win for UTAS, but that was without Aaron Bowman playing.
Correct.
And as you say, two-time NBL 1 Defensive Player of the Year, averaged 22 points a game for the Sunshine Coast Phoenix last season. She's leading the Uni Basketball League in points, assists and steals per game. She is, I think you could pretty safely say, one of, if not the best player in this competition. So she'll be the key for this UTAS team. They haven't come up against her yet this season, but I'm sure they'll have some game plans in place.
Absolutely. Great to have everyone here. This stadium is starting to fill out as well too, Jacob. Like I say, we've got a few people all around us around the broadcast area. The hierarchy from UniSport are here as well too. I think the trophies. Oh yes, I see the trophies just kind of out at one of the back tables there. I see upstairs here. Now we've got the hierarchy here, which is good to see. The UTAS boys are here in full force. They were on a late flight home very late last night. I believe they didn't get in till near midnight.
And I'm sure they didn't go to bed after that as well.
No,
so.
I believe the celebrations went well into the night. I think we're going to try to see I don't know. Mark Nash wanted someone on air for a halftime interview. I don't know how those boys are at the moment. So
yeah, who is in the best condition?
Yes, who is in the best kit. But they've brought some, they got the trophy and they brought some interesting instruments as well too. But this will make for a really good atmosphere though, Jacob. Been a little while since we've called a grand final, so this will be exciting for us, won't it?
It's good, isn't it? Yeah, we've had a big year of hoops here in Tassie, and I think this is a great way to, not quite finish it off, but definitely put an exclamation point on it.
Absolutely. Referees for this afternoon's game, Sophie Winter, Jordan Cooper and Rylan Ariz are refereeing Troika. Of course, we've got an all-local refereeing crew today, which is good. Of course, last week we had an interstate refereeing crew, so everyone... getting amongst it, and of course our local score table crew. So the boys are making a lot of noise, which is absolutely fantastic. Starting lineups out there, I can see Leah Bartlett, Shana Thompson, Zoe Banks, Claire Murray and Emerson Wells. And then for the University of Sunshine Coast, it's Heath, Boland, I can see right out there along with... Just trying to pick up there, Berry and... I just can't pick up who's next to Emerson Wells there, and that might be Zoe Drone, actually. So, now the nice thing is we were critical of the University of Sunshine Coast's jerseys when they first came back at the start of the season, but today we're in daylight and natural light, and we probably get a better look at their numbers today, Jacob, which is good.
Much better, I think, yeah. Better angle here for us as well.
Absolutely.
The Moraine Sports Stadium. So,
yes,
as you say, a really good crowd that's filtered in right around the court.
Yep.
Both levels starting to fill up nicely. A lot of fans, I think, appreciate the occasion and excited to see this kind of game here in Tassie.
Absolutely. All right, we are set to go here as the University of Tasmania win the tip and go to the right of your screen. And now Wells, here's Bartlett. Now Banks putting it to the floor here. Banks trying to step through. Murray at the corner. Now, again, good offense by UTAS. They can't get the ball rolling on that shot. Though Thompson might be able to. No, can't get that one to go either. Rebound by Wright. And now she brings it up here, up the floor here for the University of Sunshine Coast. It will be a good atmosphere here this afternoon as Berry looking to go up strong, draws contact and gets opening scores here for the University of Sunshine Coast.
It's a tough move, isn't it? Silence the crowd early. That's what you want to do, get points on the board quickly.
Absolutely. Georgia Berry studying environmental science. And she completes the three-point play, and that's a nice start for the University of Sunshine Coast. We'll see what the University of Tasmania can come up with down the upper end of the floor. So Banks here putting it to the floor. Looking for her options as she goes exploring. Here's Thompson. She thought about it. Now puts it to the floor. Up strong, draws contact. And anything you can do, I can do down the exact same end, Jacob.
Great response, isn't it? Shana Thompson, we've seen her time and again for this team really take responsibility. Put the team on her shoulders, and early on here, just powering through the contact for the layup. I think if those first two scores are anything to go by, we're in for a seriously high-quality game as Thompson hits the free throw.
She gets that to go down, so we are tight. Apparently it's 163-3 in the scoreboard in venue, so they'll have to fix that as scores go there for the University of Sunshine Coast. So there is a slight issue with the scoreboard, but it's 5-3 as Banks can't get the lucky drop on that one. And rebound there by... That was Zoe Drain. Now, putting it to the floor here is Boland, and the two-time Defensive Player of the Year in the NBL 1 North gets it to go.
It's just a beautiful move, isn't it? The little hesitation to freeze the defender and then stepping through.
And that shot couldn't go for Thompson. Rebound by Berry. Now up the floor here is Zoe Drain, the former Tasmanian, working away through. Now ball kick out to right here for three. Yes! And a nice start here by the University of Sunshine Coast.
Maybe a little bit of luck on the bank, but the ball movement to get it there was great. Took advantage of the numbers advantage they had with Thompson and Bartlett on hitting the deck at the other end.
Now, Thompson here with it. She puts it to the floor. Thompson trying to split through a couple, needs help. Murray open for three. Yes.
We've seen Murray make some huge shots this season. That's an important one there to keep UTAS rolling early.
Yes. So good response by the University of Tasmania. University of Sunshine Coast will look to respond here in kind as Kessie now back to right. Having all sorts of issues. Gets off the drain for three. Couldn't get that to go. Wright did a great job on the offensive boards. Able to pick that one up. Drain with the nice action and the finish.
So beautiful cut there. Just flashing to the basket. Nice finish as well. They're moving the ball around with a lot of purpose here, Sunshine Coast.
Shana Thompson knocking that one from downtown. And I'd say the margin is at 3. 12-9 our scoreline here. Again, there's one side of the scoreboard giving us 169, which I'm not sure they're going to have to rectify that issue at the break. And Boland draws the foul, and she will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, we'll look to double check when our stats console here updates. 12-9 is correct, as you say. Ullman at the line now. 79% free throw shooter on the season, so fairly reliable from this spot. She's played for a few different NBL 1 teams in her career, as we spoke about earlier, most recently with Sunshine Coast. One of a number of players on this team who played NBL 1 with the Sunshine Coast, so you can see how this connection has come about on the court.
Yes, absolutely. Now, to stop play here, I'm hoping they can rectify the scoreboard because, yes, 169 points in, say, a few minutes is, well, I know, you need probably NBA 2K rookie mode for that one, Jacob.
And it's gone up to 170 for a second there as well, so
yes.
Hard to say how this fix is going. We're very slowly seeing some changes, but hopefully we can find a solution pretty quickly to whatever has gone wrong there.
Absolutely.
There we go. Start from scratch.
There we go. Start from scratch and away you go. Hey, look! It's what a season it's been in the New Balance University Basketball League. I mean, it's been great competition. 8 playing rounds. It's been fantastic. It's been fantastic to see. And well, and UTAS have just come a long way. I mean, it's, again, it's a credit to Anthony Stewart and Mark Nash doing a great job with the program. And, well, this is paying off dividends, so to speak.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, as you say, the progress they've made across the season, the fact that the men have come from 4th to win a grand final, the women finished 2nd but have ended up hosting, putting themselves in a really good position. It does just speak to the growth of these programs and really good reward for effort, I think, regardless of the result here.
Boland misses the first, and the fans making some noise. A lot of people in the building right now as well too, as that goes down there for Boland. So margin out to 4 here, 13-9 our scoreline. They have rectified the scoreboard, and we're all set to go. Thompson splitting for a couple. Runner can't get that to go.
She's had a couple roll off the rim like that, hasn't she? Seen good driving lanes, but not quite the finish.
Drain inside to Boland. Now out to right here for the corner for 3 is off. Thompson with the rebound. Thompson off and running. Good hands. No, late call here, and that's going to be assessed on Berry for the reach.
We saw in that last defensive possession for UTAS, they sent a really quick double team to Erin Bowman, and she was able to make the pass for an open 3, and it didn't go down, but that's just the gamble that UTAS are maybe going to have to take in this game if they're going to shut her down as much as you possibly can anyway.
Absolutely. So Banks here with the ball carrying duties for UTAS. Now kicks this one out. Bartlett now putting it to the floor. Out to Murray for 3 is off. Rebound by Drain. Drain up the floor here for the University of Sunshine Coast. Now the ball with Berry. And she looks for options. Sunshine Coast patient in what they're doing offensively. Drain from deep. Couldn't get that to go. And now Murray with it here as we come back down the floor. Now Thompson will fire one from deep, and that is off. So Shana Thompson yet to register a 3-point field goal. And now Heath going up strong. Can't get that to go. Bartlett picked up the rebound. And now Murray up the floor here for UTAS once again. Cross-court pass. Banks extra through to Wells as they, once again, UTAS trying to be patient in their set here. Thompson now. Bartlett, shot clock at 8 here for the University of Tasmania. So Banks will need to get busy here. Banks getting a little bit stuck. Spin move, gets her own rebound, but that will see a shot clock violation, I would assume. So referees will come together and try and have a conversation. I believe it will be a shot clock violation. Yeah, ball never hit the ring.
UTAS players were calling for the ball out of bounds off the Sunshine Coast, but that would depend on the referees also deciding that the ball was out before the shot clock expired.
Yeah, so 24-second shot clock violation. Referee Jordan Cooper determining ball never hit the ring. And, of course, UTAS case for an out-of-bounds thing goes unwhistled. So Drain with the ball carrying duties here. Just near on halfway in this first quarter. Great to have you with us by UniSport TV for the New Balance University Basketball League Women's Grand Final. Is that 3? Couldn't go there for Berry. And now Thompson here with it. Thompson trying to work through. Kick out pass. Brooks for a long 2 is off. And that will be a foul on Wells as she reached in on Taryn Wright there.
They're still getting some good looks here, UTAS. Just haven't been able to get them to fall on these last few possessions, but holding up fairly well defensively. Both teams, I think, doing a good job of getting the game on their tempo when they've got the ball.
Ball gets knocked out of bounds. University of Sunshine Coast to get it back. Substitutions here is Esther Fleming is into the ball game. And coming out will be Georgia Berry. So 4:47 to go here in the first. Ball here with Bella Heath as she goes cross-court to Wright. Wright kicks this one out. Drain goes up. Couldn't get that to go. Rebound by Thompson. Thompson with it here as we come down the floor. Now Banks with it here. So Banks putting it to the floor now. She goes strong and off glass, gets the 2.
Really nice patient drive there from Banks. Didn't let herself get hurried up. Good finish on the left.
Now Heath going up strong. Couldn't get that to go. I think the Sunshine Coast wanted the foul. Referees didn't see it that way. So USC couldn't get the whistle on that one. As the ball gets it out to Banks here. Martin back to 2 all of a sudden. University of Sunshine Coast coming out with a good start. Now Brooks will fire one from deep. Is off on that one. Now right here with it as we come up the floor. Good hands by Murray. And now Banks here with it. So a chance to tie it or take the lead. Thompson wants the lead but missed everything on that one. Rebound by Fleming. UTAS just very similar to last week here. Just slowish off the start, but making their way into this game now. Banks to Thompson for the 2. Yes. We are tied at 13.
And that's one way to get points, isn't it? If you can get out and run, overcome any of those shooting issues.
Well, Wright went to the rim. Contact made, no call. Boland gets it to go. She is very determined. Is Boland, and you can just see in the huddle there, Jacob, really emphasising to our players there's lift on the defensive end because UTAS have been able to find a few things of getting what they want, but unfortunately, or thankfully, the ball hasn't gone in for UTAS as much as what you would probably see.
Yeah, and I think it would be frustrating if those had fallen because it feels like Sunshine Coast doing so much work to get these good looks, moving the ball really well. UTAS just sort of walking into some open shots. They'd want to lock down on those as quick as they can.
Marching back to 3 here for UTAS. Thompson will look to tie it and can't on that one. Drain got the rebound. She is off and running here. Needs to slow it down for the troops. And it's Wright now with it. Over to Fleming. Fleming looking to put it on the floor. Kick and then good read by Ferguson there. And comes back to the University of Sunshine Coast. Substitutions here. Leah Bartlett, Claire Murray coming in. No. Nathan Arusi wants to draw up a play. So timeout here. 2:48 remaining here. And, well, this game has been, well, kind of somewhat of a feeling out process once again, Jacob. But University of Sunshine Coast really on top at the moment.
Yeah, it feels like they've had the better of the play so far, doesn't it? And that's even with UTAS holding Erin Bowman to just the 2 shots. She's made both of them, of course, but you know they want the ball out of her hands, and they've done that pretty well. But we've seen players step up and make shots. Every member of the starting 5 for the Sunshine Coast is on the score sheet, so they're getting a good balanced effort so far. UTAS, it's the risk you take when you throw a double at a guard like Bowman. You know, you risk getting everyone else involved, and they'll have to figure out, you know, which poison they're going to pick in this game, I think.
Yes, absolutely. And this game's been back and forth. Good atmosphere here at the Lorraine Basketball Stadium. I must say, we've been coming to this venue for so many years. There's been some really good grand finals and good crowds been put on the past here, and this has lived up to expectation as per advertised. And both teams about to come back out onto the floor here.
The interesting minutes here for UTAS. We see Shana Thompson on the bench as they come back out from the break. So a different look for UTAS. Thompson already in this game has 8 points, has taken 9 shots. So what can they generate with her on the bench?
Well, 2 ball here for Heath, couldn't go. Now up the floor quickly here is UTAS, and Ferguson puts it to the floor, kick out to Bartlett. Now Wells putting it to the floor. Wells going up strong and gets the friendly roll on that one.
Emerson Wells, we know what she can do scoring the ball. One player who can really step up in these minutes where Thompson's on the bench.
So marching back to 1 here is Boland getting blitzed or triple teamed and turned it over. Murray off and running. Wells, now Ferguson for the finishing touches.
We've seen this full court defense from UTAS at times this season. I was waiting to see when it might come out. Works to great effect there, forcing a rare turnover from Bowman and 3 points at the other end.
UTAS take the lead for the first time in the game here. They lead it by 2. And the ball goes back to UTAS here. So some momentum just shifting into UTAS's favour, Jacob.
And that's what you want out of a timeout, isn't it? You want something to change and to shift the momentum. And UTAS gotten exactly what they would have been looking for out of the break.
Ferguson putting it to the floor here. Now out to Wells. And the action to go to Brooks somehow pays off, and there's contact there. That's going to be on Bella Heath there for some contact with the head. So I hope Brooks will go to the line here for 2.
Yeah, not exactly how they would have drawn it up, as you say, but get a good outcome in the end. We see the changes coming thick and fast from the Sunshine Coast here.
So Hope Brooks here at the line for 2. He's played pretty much most, if not all, of the UTAS games this season. Of course, she had to make a late, drastic trip from Westbury the week before to get here for that semi-final, but she made it in time. And, well, today she was here prior to tip-off, Jacob, so good to see.
A good result, isn't it? Makes it a lot easier as we see this press again from UTAS.
And we've seen that press throughout the season, Jacob, and that has been paying off dividends. Not on that occasion. Foul called, and it'll be 2 shots here for the University of Sunshine Coast. But we know Anthony Stewart had that up his sleeve, but it was just a matter of when they were going to put that in. So obviously they've decided just before quarter time here. So at the line here is Gemma Bennett doing a course in health science. Great to see. Got the first there. This crowd absolutely going erratic here, mainly the UTAS boys who are making all the noise down one end of the floor. Substitutions. Thompson back into the game, so that was a quick breather there, Jacob.
You can't imagine she'll be spending too many long stints on the bench in a game like this.
Definitely not. I think Anthony Stewart will want his best shooter out on the floor for the majority of the game. Under 90 seconds remaining here, term number 1 as UTAS lead it, 20-18. Ferguson now needs help. Goes off to Murray. Murray trying to split through. Floater is good for Claire Murray.
Great finish from Murray there. She's made a nice start to this game. 5 points in the first quarter.
Now Berry inside here to Fleming. Now back to Berry. Berry going to work. Kicks this one out. 3-ball by Bennett is good. And, well, these rings are friendly at times here, Jacob.
They are, yeah. We've seen a few of those shooters' rolls across the season, and Bennett's a 40% three-point shooter, so she is well acquainted with those.
Bodies hit the floor. No call made. Ball last touch there by Fleming. I think the University of Sunshine Coast wanted a foul. Referees didn't see it that way. Asking the question, but I don't think that will go to no avail here. When it does get loud in here, very hard to pick up the communication out on the floor as well too. So everyone will need to be on point with what they're trying to talk about. Now Bartlett here, back to Thompson in what is a broken play. Great D by Boland. Get that out of here, she says. That's why she's twice a Defensive Player of the Year in the NBL 1 North. And a great block there. Now the ball inside here to Berry. And Berry going to work here, getting double team. Open look, and that's short there. And that was Nason that took the shot there. And Brooks on the quarter time buzzer. And a positive finish there for the University of Tasmania. After the University of Sunshine Coast come out with a really great start, UTAS have been able to work their way back in nicely, Jacob, and they lead it by a solitary point here at quarter time. It's 22-21.
Yeah, as you say, great finish there with Bartlett. Good poise, even with the clock winding down, the crowd counting it down for her. Still kept her composure and found Brooks on the cut there to the basket. So the perfect finish for UTAS. They'd have to be pretty happy with where they're sitting in this game. So look at our stats dashboard and what I'm sure you're seeing on your screen, a 24-21 score that's just updated in stadium. We'll take a quick look down the stat sheet for UTAS. Shana Thompson leading the way. She's got 8 early points, 3 of 10 from the field, but definitely looking to be aggressive. Claire Murray with 5, the next best for the Sunshine Coast. Bowman has 6. No assists and 3 turnovers, an outlier for her, but played every single second of that quarter, and I'm sure she'll do the same for most of this game. Georgia Berry, Taryn Wright with 3, Gemma Bennett with 5 off the bench in just a couple of minutes. So contributors right up and down both rosters here early in this game, and that all equals out to a pretty close game on the scoreboard, and what I think has been a really high quality contest so far.
Absolutely, Jacob. It has been back and forth, and well, this crowd has been absolutely unbelievable so far. Again, you tell everyone it's free entry.
Everyone come along.
Everyone comes along. Of course, it is a regional holiday here in Hobart as well too, Jacob. Of course, the Royal Hobart Show happening over the next few days, and everyone having the day off today from work, which is good for us, Jacob. We get to come and do what we love to do.
Well, and where else would you want to be on a day off, watching a game like this with everything on the line? It's about as good as it gets.
Oh, absolutely. So both teams coming out of their huddle here. No, Anthony Stewart still in his huddle. I'm assuming Anthony Stewart drawing up a few things here and trying to, again, keep that ball movement, keep the spacing, and try and get their actions right, because I feel like, as we mentioned last week in our commentary in the semi-finals with the University of Sydney, we assumed we're pretty sure Tom Garlip looked back on the tape and had re-scouted, and I'm sure Nathan Arusi has probably done the same thing.
Absolutely, yeah. We know how much work goes into game planning for any game in a competition like this, but especially a grand final. So I think the action on the court, obviously we're watching, but it's also a little bit of a chess game on the sidelines, a little read and react. Which coaching staff can find the winning formula first, because so far it's been a bit of a stalemate. Absolutely,
it certainly has been. Drain putting it to the floor here as we are underway, term number 2. Now Bennett firing one from deep, and well, that's the way to get things going to start term number 2.
Gemma Bennett is feeling it. 8 points in less than 2 minutes now. She's knocked down a couple of threes.
My goodness.
She is on fire.
She certainly is, and I'll tell you what, she didn't hold back on that three-pointer. Banks putting it to the floor. Now Bartlett out to Murray here at the corner. Murray looking to attack strong. Spin. Throws up a tough one. Good defense by the University of Sunshine Coast here as they come up the floor here. Drain now. Going up strong. Couldn't get that to go. Bartlett able to pull that one in after Boland nearly attempt to take it away from her. Now Banks got a little stuck. Wells. So again, These nerves and feelings, I'm sure, would have went away at quarter time as Banks pulls up for the 2. Couldn't get that to go. Now the ball here with Drain. Now 2 ball here by Blundell. Couldn't get that to go. Thompson on the spin and the finish.
Oh, how slick's that from Shana Thompson. Spinning away to the basket. Didn't the UTAS boys above the basket love that one?
Yes, I think they did. That is for sure. And ball goes out of bounds.
Another good defensive effort there from UTAS as we take a quick look. That's 5 turnovers now for the Sunshine Coast early in this game. Just the 1 for UTAS.
Yep, so UTAS doing a good job in that category, though the University of Sunshine Coast, as Banks couldn't get that 3 to go. Wright will let that one go out. So ball goes out of bounds here, back to UTAS. And yes, turnovers are a big stat in one way, Jacob, but you can't afford to let that build up.
No, we've spoken about it all year, especially with the way that UTAS defend, how important extra possessions are. So as we almost see another steal there, that could be a big point of difference for them.
So the ball inside the drain, couldn't get it to go. Rebound by Wells. Now Thompson here. As we come back down the floor, Thompson looking to go up strong, does. It counts. And Shana Thompson will go to line for 1 after drawing contact on Wright.
I think that's when Shana Thompson's at her best, isn't it? When she's getting her head down and trying to get to the basket. You know, the finishing can be a bit up and down, but even at worst, it collapses the defense in. And at best, we see finishes like that.
Absolutely.
12 points already in the game for Thompson.
Now, all right. Now I think they've sorted out what they need to sort out there as Thompson will convert a 3-point play. Gets that one to go. So margin at 4 here for the University of Sunshine Coast. After leading it early on in the game, UTAS have been able to fight their way back as that ball goes out of bounds and back to the University of Sunshine Coast. As we mentioned, a bit of a slow start from UTAS, but they've been able to work their way back in and now lead it. But Ken Bennett, no, not on that occasion, but she has been shooting the ball well in this first half currently so far. Now Wells gives it off to Murray. Now Banks Thompson for 3. Yes.
She has made a fantastic start to this game. We knew she'd come out and be aggressive. We saw it in the semi-final last week. No surprise at all, but great to see her making shots at this rate early. As we've got a player down on the sideline here for the Sunshine Coast.
Boland has gone down here. Did you pick up there, Jacob?
No, I didn't quite catch what happened there, but...
No, I didn't pick up either there. And Boland just struggling to get up. Let's hope she's okay.
Looks to be in a lot of discomfort, doesn't she?
Yeah. And that could be a crucial blow there for the University of Sunshine Coast.
Keep a close eye on that, won't we?
Yes.
Hope that she's okay and able to return to this game. But in the meantime, the Sunshine Coast are going to have to find a source of offense otherwise as they turn the ball over again there to Thompson.
Yep, so Thompson off and running, and Thompson with back-to-back baskets. Gets the 2 there. So all of a sudden it's blown out to 10 here, Jacob.
And another turnover. This is getting to a very, very dangerous point now for the Sunshine Coast as we see a UTAS timeout called.
Yep, go for it, Jacob.
Obviously, Anthony Stewart wants to talk to his team, but I think the Sunshine Coast would have to be pretty happy with this timeout as well. They, even before Bowman went down, were just scrambling a little bit on both ends, a little bit out of control after they'd looked so methodical and meticulous early.
Now we're just keeping one close eye here on Bowman here as a couple of the trainers have been going out to her, so we're just trying to pick up what might be the issue there, but let's hope she's okay. But yeah, she's in a bit of distress at the moment. I was going to come back to, and before all that, I was going to come back to Shana Thompson has played in some big finals in a time around the game. Probably none bigger than in the NBL 1 Central, where she kind of started, was a big hand with Norwood getting the win there a couple of years ago. Yeah. And playing at the old 36ers home venue of, the Powerhouse. Well, I'll rename it the Powerhouse. It used to be, we all know it as the Powerhouse. But she, again, that big game feeling, that, those big shots, she's accustomed to these kind of moments like so.
Absolutely. You know, a two-time NBL 1 champion. We talk about players in this competition who have that NBL 1 experience, have a leg up. Well, in a grand final, if you've played in and won grand finals at that high level, it puts you in really good stead. The nerves are down. You know, the pressure feels a little lower, and she's playing like someone who's been there and done it before.
Now on cue, Thompson will fire one and couldn't get that to go. Blundell with the rebound. Now Wright with it here. Back to Blundell. And she gets it back. So great running there by Blundell, who was kind of a pivotal player in that first game we saw the University of Sunshine Coast earlier in the season. Nice hands by Drain on a former friend, or I'm sure they're still friends on the off the court. Of course, Emerson Wells, both players from the Northwest Coast as well too. So Banks for three is way short, and rebound by Wright. As the University of Tasmania boys try to Mexican wave. I don't think that's going to work, lads. Drain for three. Couldn't get that to go. Thompson off and running here. Needs to slow this one down for the troops. And now Murray will fire one from deep. Yes!
Another big knockdown from Murray. She's up to 8 points. Spoke about her season so far. 33% from deep. Really solid shooter.
Bennett couldn't get that three to go. Bartlett with the rebound. Here's a carnival type atmosphere here at Warrane at the moment. Thompson now looking to go. Wells for another three. Couldn't get that to go either. And Wright, now Murray able to pick it off. Wells, Thompson, why not? No, couldn't get that to go. So they're living and dying by this 3-point ball at the moment. They lead by 13 though, so the University of Sunshine Coast have not scored for a little bit, but they'll look like they'll score on this one here, fouling on Bartlett.
Nice move there towards the basket, wasn't it, from Heath?
Yes, Heath with a great drive. Bartlett just probably not in position at the right time, so good call by the officials. As Leah Bartlett will come off, and so Banks. And the boys with a famous chant, in the wrong competition. I was going to say, I did stop by the local HJ last night, by the way, too, after coming home from work.
Chance worked on that first free throw and the second.
And the boys think they're going to get free cheeseburgers. That is not happening.
He's one of those players who could step up, in the absence of their leading scorer, averaging 15 a game this year, so there'll be a bit more pressure on her shoulders now. Absolutely.
Of course, Boland still out on the sidelines there, getting checked on. We'll try and get an update for you if we can, as Wells kicks this one out. Brooks for a long two. Did everything but go in the ring. Rebound by Blundell. And now right here, up the floor here for the University of Sunshine Coast. Oh, nice pass and action there, but couldn't go there for Heath. But that was a good play by the University of Sunshine Coast. Anthony Stewart wants the UTAS to push, and they're trying to look for a nice score, and do so there for Emerson Wells.
Great find from Thompson, just no look over the shoulder pass, and Wells beautifully timed, little V cut to shake her defender and get open.
15 now to march, a game high here. We're a 1 point a quarter time. This game has just all of a sudden gone to a different place, but that will be good there for the University of Sunshine Coast with a two from Bella Heath.
Tough finish, lost the ball there to Wells for a second, but to be able to gather and finish still, really impressive.
Brooks going to work on Blundell. Brooks up strong and gets the two. Some nice inside play there from Hope Brooks.
It's just another extra element, isn't it, when Brooks is able to catch and finish like that and make a move. They got so many shooters, UTAS, that having that post presence. You see a steal here.
Yep, Ferguson will get the two. I was going to say, Bennett, very lucky not to get unsportsmanlike, because Bennett did pull on Ellie Ferguson's shirt and got away with one there. So timeout called for Nathan Arusi. And this lead is bundled out to 17 here with 3:40 to go here in the second quarter, Jacob.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, obviously the shooting is key. The absence of Bowman has sort of brought the Sunshine Coast offense to a standstill, but I still think the biggest difference, we've spoken about it so often, is those extra possessions. UTAS have forced the Sunshine Coast into 8 turnovers, only committed one of their own, and that means the UTAS have had 38 shots on the offensive end to 27 from the Sunshine Coast. Doesn't matter how well you shoot. If you're taking 8, 10, 12 shots less in a half of basketball, you're coming from a long way back, and you're going to have to shoot the lights out if you want to stay in it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think with Boland out currently at the moment, that for some reason I feel like the game has just changed since she's been out, Jacob.
100%. And look, it wasn't her most prolific game to this point. She had 6 points, 3 turnovers, but it just changes the game plan, doesn't it? We saw the Sunshine Coast swinging it through hands so nicely. It started with her. She was getting it and keeping it moving,
yes,
and drawing those double teams. So, if she's not out there, everything changes for this team. They're still good enough to win this game and get back into it, but it's going to have to be a very different game plan, and they're going to have a much tougher time navigating this UTAS press.
Absolutely. Let's see how they go. They got through it, so Berry with it. Now out to Fleming. So Fleming putting it to the floor. Here's Wright. Now inside here to Berry. Berry up strong, and that's a good play out of the timeout there, Jacob.
A great start, isn't it, out of the break. Wright, someone who can be a real steady hand for them here, and the nice feed inside and finish.
Wells, cross court. Ferguson extra to Murray, who will fire it from deep and couldn't get that to go.
Just a little bit of hesitation wasn't there to take the shot there from Murray. A little hitch in the jumper in the end.
Fleming out to Wright. Wright sees an opening on Brooks. Draws contact and will go to line for 2.
This is how you just take a bit of sting out of the game, isn't it? Get to the line, slow things down, hopefully knock them down.
As Nyhouse and Bartlett are back out on the floor. Murray and Wells having a breather. Interesting thing I picked up today. I've been, of course, watching a bit of NBA today and watching my Chicago Bulls playing Detroit Pistons. It's interesting to hear the Chicago commentary team actually pick up on that. Double digit these days doesn't really mean much.
No.
And right now, 15 points in the scheme of things doesn't mean a whole lot at this stage, Jacob.
It doesn't, no. And we saw, a glimpse early in the game of how Sunshine Coast can put points on the board when you've got a bit of firepower at your disposal. It only takes a few stops in a row, a few good offensive possessions, and suddenly that lead gets whittled down very, very quickly.
Drain up strong. Good D by Nyhouse, who's in the ball game for the first time this afternoon. Now, Thompson, kick out pass. Ferguson for 3. She knocks it from downtown, and the crowd tells you the rest.
Ferguson had her ups and downs shooting in the Uni Basketball League this year, but we know what she can do from behind the arc.
Yes, she had a big game last night too in local action as Fleming from downtown, if you don't mind.
That is a big knockdown just to keep them close, really. That margin had gotten out to 18. It's really dangerous territory heading into halftime. They need a good finish here, the Sunshine Coast.
Back to 15 here. Thompson now up strong and gets the 2.
She's so hard to guard, isn't she? We know how quickly she can pull the trigger from deep, but if you close out too hard, she is gone in the blink of an eye.
So the ball getting moved around here for the University of Sunshine Coast. We had a game high 17-point lead here for UTAS as Wright pulls up for the mid-range. We could nearly say that's a pass, but in the end, there was good defense by Brooks and Nyhouse there on Berry, and jump ball goes back to UTAS.
A minute 47 left in this quarter. We get a timeout from UTAS. The margin at 17, I think both coaches would recognise an opportunity here. The Sunshine Coast know that they need to try and stem the bleeding in this last couple of minutes, and for UTAS, it'd be too early to call it a knockout blow, but if they could push this lead out past 20 at halftime, that's a hell of a mental barrier that the visitors are going to have to overcome.
Absolutely. And again, we talk about that mental battle. You've got a crowd here now where I'd say in the regular season, it's nice to get a few people, but, we've probably got about, say, I reckon over 100 or I reckon or so here, Jacob, and they're making a lot of noise. And again, playing at a different venue too, Warrana's very more close in and very kind of a more better for atmosphere, where Creek Road, just with the bigger stadium and and you've got the stands on either side, makes it very difficult there to create and generate a lot of noise. So here, it's not a bad home court advantage here for UTAS.
Definitely. The crowd's really sort of on top of the action, aren't they? Especially as we look around the balcony, sort of where we are. There's no escape for the visitors, and I think it's just the worst situation to be in when the crowd's up and about and you're looking at a deep hole like this. But for the Sunshine Coast, they'd be telling themselves that'll make it all the more impressive if they can come back and win. So certainly no shortage of motivation there, and they've got the talent out there to do it. They'll just need to find a response, and it starts in this last minute and a half of the first half here.
Well, let's see what UTAS can do here on this possession as both teams come out of the timeout. Nyhouse inside, couldn't get that to go. Some good defence there by Kessie. As right now with it. Can USC get a score here? Drain putting it to the floor. Good hands there by Bartlett. Now Thompson off to the races, and well, it's a good heads-up play because Kessie was with her, and I don't think Thompson had a chance on that one.
I like the intent from Thompson to reward the running from the teammate there, but as you say, a good heads-up play to just cut it out.
So University of Tasmania restart. Thompson now putting it to the floor. Float up on Thompson, no good. Blundell able to pick up the rebound. Oh no, that was Fleming, sorry, my apologies. And Fleming short contact, and well, she will go to the line here for two. That's going to be, I think that's on Leah Bartlett there, so she will come back out of the game. Thompson having an extra minute of a breather here. Probably a wise move there from Anthony Stewart as Esther Fleming, the captain of the University of Sunshine Coast, here at the line for two.
They've struggled a bit at the line, haven't they, so far? Whether it's the Hungry Jacks having its intended effect or not, but they're 5 of 12 now after those two misses, although a good offensive rebound.
And, well, fans want to travel. Referees then said that way. Ball was dislodged, so therefore travel could not be called. Now, Banks putting it to the floor here. Brooks inside to Nyhouse. The Twin Towers combined. Great hands by Wright to pick that one off. And she's off and running. Wright trying to go solo. Good D there by Banks. And USC get it back.
Great recovery from UTAS. They had 3 back there, sort of covering the lane. No passing option for Wright, as you say. She had to drive into the contact, and they did well not to foul.
So Fleming here with it. And she looks to go, and there'll be a kick ball there by Banks. So back to USC here. And Claire Murray coming into the ball game here for Zoe Banks. Nathan Arusi thought it was a foot violation, but in the end, shot clock is at 12 and stays at 12. He probably wanted to reset by 2 seconds. He will get that reset, actually. So I think Nathan Arusi has been able to talk in an extra 2 seconds here, potentially. No, we're back to 13 where we were, so he gets a second back. So right to restart. Now Fleming looking for Kessie. Goes back at Berry there. Berry, errant pass, another turnover, and then UTAS then turn it over. Right, and then last touch there by Nyhouse. So comedy of errors on both of those teams there on that small possession.
Anthony Stewart with his head in his hands after that series of plays. Even with a 17-point lead in hand, he's not content.
3 ball by Fleming, no good. Wright able to get the rebound, couldn't get that to go. And now Wells here, and I think UTAS might have the last say here.
Yeah, and Stewart calling for one shot.
Yep, spot on, Jacob. As Wells now looks to go, kick out. Ferguson for 3. Yes. Anthony Stewart with a bit of a fist pump on the sidelines. You notice that was a huge bucket to close the half. And halftime comes, and a remarkable second quarter by the University of Tasmania sees them up by 20 at halftime. It's the University of Tasmania 51, the University of Sunshine Coast 31 here on UniSport TV.
As you say, that second term, 27-10, UTAS win it to really blow this game out. We saw Erin Bowman go down and take the wind out of the sails for the Sunshine Coast, but credit to UTAS for really putting their foot down and taking full advantage. Shana Thompson up to 20 points leading the way, but Ferguson knocking down 3 triples. Claire Murray making some big shots. Hope Brooks getting involved. It's been a really well-rounded effort. Hard to fault anything, I think, in that first half for UTAS.
Now, the University of Tasmania decided to use the boardroom here at the stadium as their change rooms here, so they've got to come through the crowd, which is quite interesting to see. Of course, the University of Tasmania...
Maybe run into a locked door there.
Yeah,
so
I think
tricky.
I think the door is locked, so they may need to retreat. What do we got? 5 minutes here for half time as Nathan Arusi there, and their assistant coach. We did get all the information with their coaching staff. Warwick Wilson, having a bit of a chat about things here as they go into the sheds, and what we might do while everyone. And now UTAS has been let in, so there you go. So all's watered into well. All right, we will take a break here and come back in a couple of minutes for the second half. UTAS leading by 20 at the moment. Thanks for tuning in by UniSport TV. We'll be back very soon. and Jacob Dool here with you on the call for this one. And Jacob, we kind of mentioned off there, that second quarter was just unbelievable from UTAS. The game has just changed after being a 1 point quarter time lead to UTAS.
It was, yeah. We mentioned it going into the break, but 27-10 in that second quarter. It's broken the game wide open, and it really was just a ruthless display from UTAS on both ends of the floor. Really relentless in their pressure, not giving the Sunshine Coast any chance to find their footing again. The halftime break will be a chance for them to sort of reset, try to come up with something in response. And we'll see pretty quickly, I think, whether that's going to be effective or not.
Well, it was a bit of a longer, it was a little bit of a longer halftime break. As, of course, UTAS got locked out of their change rooms, or the boardroom here at the stadium. And then able to get in, and then I believe after talking with the game officials, I think they just extended half-time by a couple of minutes just to give everyone an extra breather. And, of course, with the big crowd in as well, too, a lot of noise. Of course, we had a few of the UTAS boys come up and say hello. And in fine form they are, Jacob.
As you should be after winning a grand final.
Absolutely. They've got their banner down there. They've got their medals. They're all still up and about from last night. Now, this will be the interesting side here as well, too. University of Sunshine Coast going the way of UTAS's end and to what we call the squash court end, or we call it the bar end, really, in local terms here. It's going to be interesting to see how the noise here will captivate the University of Sunshine Coast in either way here, Jacob.
Yeah, I think we could pretty safely call it the peanut gallery end in a game like this, couldn't we? But full credit to them, creating a great atmosphere in here. And you're right, be interesting to see how the visitors respond now that they're shooting that way. Certainly not going to be easy for them.
Now, just a quick update on Blundell. She is kind of moving now, trying to get her hips moving. So some good signs here. Let's hope she gets back on, because it'd be good to see her back in the game. As that two couldn't go there for Heath. And that would have been a good start for the University of Sunshine Coast as well, too, just to knock down that two. So Banks here with it. Now out to Thompson. Thompson trying to go to backdoor and Wells. Well read there by USC, and great hustle, but to no avail. Murray able to pick it up and fight through some contact. Thompson now sees an opening, draws contact, draws the foul, and will go to line for one.
A tough start for the visitors, isn't it? They get a stop. They hustle after that loose ball, as you say. It just doesn't quite fall their way, and Thompson punishes it with another and one finish.
Not sure what the boys are on about there now, Brent, but okay. I think it's a bit of a we want. Now, Yuet Wong hasn't checked into the game. I think that might have been the chance. But anyway, 3-point play converted by Shana Thompson. So now Berry kicks this one out to Drain. Drain, just being patient in what USC do. Drain going inside, but an errant pass to Berry sees another turnover there for USC.
Yeah, turnover number 13 in the game for them now. It's been a real problem area. Just haven't been able to find, a reliable outlet on the offensive end, and that's meant they've had to force the issue a little bit more than they'd like at times.
Yes. Turnovers have been building up. Meanwhile, Banks from downtown, and that margin now out to a 26-point lead. Whistle. It was a travel there by USC, so UTAS get it back here. And this game, all of a sudden, very threatening to come out to a 30-point lead, near literally.
Yeah, and they're running out of ideas. I think the Sunshine Coast we saw there, they went so far under the screen from Banks to try and clog the paint. She just steps up and knocks down the three off the dribble, so everything is working for UTAS. They've had a response every time. And
a foul on Wright here as well too. So Wright just not getting the position and just reaching in on that one. So UTAS to restart here. Thompson now going to work one-on-one with Drain as Thompson goes up, draws contact, and will go to line for two here.
Thompson going to the line. She's already got 23 points in the game. Well and truly the game high. She's been fantastic so far.
Right now, this atmosphere is certainly telling us that we're at some NCAA game at one of the big universities. It's timeout called here. Probably a good thing. The boys will calm down. They want Yuet Wong, of course, known as Jasper as well too. So I don't know if that's coming yet, but if
the score stays the way it is, I'm sure we'll see it sooner rather than later.
But the big thing in these situations, I can see the girls there's a bit of smiling and a little bit of giggling. The big thing right now is though, you still got to stay locked in and focused here, because again, this 26-point lead might just dwindle down to say back to 15 to where we were. Then that might just entice some scoreboard pressure on here.
And look, we've spoken about the crowd and how big an advantage it is for UTAS when they're up and about like this, but as you say, a little bit of a run from the visitors, get that margin back towards 15, 10, crowd a bit quieter, they lose a bit of that energy.
Yes.
Just ratchets the pressure up a little bit on the UTAS team. So you're right, they wouldn't want to let up here, because it doesn't take a whole heap for a good team like the Sunshine Coast to get themselves back into the game.
So both teams out of the huddle here. That we'll see Thompson at the line here for 2.
You mentioned before that Erin Bowman was behind the basket trying to limber up. She's still standing on the bench there, so clearly has some hope of getting back into this game, but no sign of her checking back in yet.
Let's hope she does get back in. I'd love to see her come back again. Great to see, again, playing with the Sunshine Coast Phoenix in the NBL 1 North competition, a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, and you just don't want to see those type of players out of a big game as this.
You want the best players on the court in the big games, don't you? And I think we're all excited to see her in action, so to see another turnover there, they would definitely want her back on the court as well, the way this game's going.
So turnover there by University of Sunshine Coast. There's Banks now, off to Thompson for 3, and couldn't get that to go. Nice rebound there as well too by Heath. Gets this one off to Wright. Wright now putting it to the floor, up strong, couldn't get that to go. Thompson with the rebound, and she's off and moving here for UTAS. Cross-court pass, Banks now. Thompson, Wells for 3. And that's another one from downtown for the University of Tasmania.
Wells up to 7 points. She was fantastic last time these two teams played, so if she can get off the chain here, that's another huge plus for UTAS.
So ball here to Berry, who couldn't get the 2 to go. Drain able to get the rebound. And she just slows things down here. So Drain now. Try to go to the short corner there where Heath was, but that ball was deflected and intercepted. Thompson going way cross court. Wells sees an opening. Thompson relocates for 3. Yes.
And that's just a perfect offensive set there. Everyone moving. The drive from Wells drags the defense in. Thompson relocating out to the 3. Everything just working absolutely perfectly for UTAS.
So Drain with it here, trying to look inside the Heath. They have to go elsewhere here as Nason now. And then Drain nearly introducing herself into the fans. That ball goes out of bounds back to UTAS. Substitution as Maddie Strasma into the game here for Leah Bartlett. And some other substitutions here as that looks like it's Bennett coming in there for Heath. And we are back underway here. 6 and a bit to go here in the third. Trust you enjoying the coverage by UniSport TV. As Wells from deep, couldn't get that to go. Thompson with the O-board and draws a foul. Wright saying that she was straight up, but not according to referee Jordan Cooper. So Thompson will go to the line here for 2. Margin is at 34 points.
It's just tough, isn't it, when you're down big like this, force a miss, and then the offensive rebound gives up a chance at another 2 points. It's they're demoralising plays when you're in a position like this.
Absolutely. Probably one of the biggest blowout grand finals we've seen in some time, Jacob, at the moment. But can the University of Sunshine Coast just find a way back into this game? And Drain now putting it to the floor. 3 ball by Bennett is good.
Big make there from Bennett. They needed that one.
They did.
Well, that's an understatement. She's up to 11 points, though. Might have heard a big cheer from the UTAS crowd. Yuet Wong ready to check into the game at the next dead ball.
Yes. Murray for 3 is way off. That hit the side of the barnyard right there. And a comedy of errors here by UTAS. Can they recompose? Shot clock at 3. Murray on the shot clock buzzer. Not there. That hits the support system. So ball goes back to the University of Sunshine Coast. And listen to this. Nice roar for Yuet Wong there as she comes on for the first time this afternoon. There'll be a bigger pop if she can score.
Roof might come off the stadium here, I think.
Yes. We won't be here tomorrow night, Jacob, for Island Hustle. Meanwhile, ball getting moved around as that 3 ball goes up and it goes down there for Esther Fleming.
Couple of 3s in a row for the Sunshine Coast just to keep them with a little bit of a pulse in this game, a little bit of momentum.
That's what you want. Marching at 30 here now all of a sudden. We were at 37 about a minute or two ago. Wong putting it to the floor. Nice hands by Wright. And now Drain goes over to Fleming and foul there on Thompson. Was a little bit late on the play there.
Smart foul though. There were runners in the middle who had an open lane, so to slow things down here and a chance to reset for UTAS.
So Blundell into the game here for Berry. So play to restart here as Fleming inbounds this one in and Blundell with it now. Ball here with Drain. Drain looking to go here. Great take by Zoe Drain. And we've seen that from time to time when she has been, of course, back home here in Tassie. Wells going to work and then gets out to Strasma, who just got a bit excited there. Wells got it back. Shot clock at 8. Thompson from area code range. Couldn't get that to go. Bennett got the rebound. Now Wright. Up the floor here is Drain. Cross court. Bennett for 3. And that one will go out of bounds. So the ball goes out of play.
Sunshine Coast, again, have done a pretty good job of knuckling down here defensively. It feels like scoring slowed a little bit for UTAS in these last couple of minutes, but such a hole to climb out of. That's only the first step, isn't it?
Fans on their feet, mainly the UTAS boys, as Thompson inside off a good pass from Wells, and Thompson making that, well, a bit tougher than what she originally thought. Wong able to get the Jasper Wong with the 2. So Yuet Wong. And the crowd are happy about that one.
I've seen what they came here for now.
Yes.
I'm sure they would want to see a bit more of it, though.
Absolutely. Drain now putting it to the floor. Nice pass to right there at the short corner for the 2.
That's more like it offensively, isn't it? Knock down a couple of 3s and then some nice play around the basket.
So, quick blitzing action there from USC. Now, Banks inside to Strasma. And then good work there by Blundell. And now Fleming here with it. So, Fleming. Now, Blundell putting it to the floor. Blundell kicked that one out. Fleming for 3. Yes! So, back to 27 now.
Still a long way back, but just keeping things interesting here, the Sunshine Coast. This has been a really nice little stretch for them to respond with.
Banks exploring, and then, well, that's a bad pass and turnover there for UTAS. Right, looking to go, right up strong, couldn't get it to go. Drain did a great job of running the lane and get the offensive rebound. And now the ball getting moved around, so went from side to side. Now Fleming looking to go here. Fleming up strong, draws the foul, and this is good signs here by the University of Sunshine Coast. They're really fighting back in this third quarter here, Jacob.
It's good, isn't it? And you see Fleming there, the captain of this team, really taking the responsibility on her shoulders, knocking down the shot, getting to the basket and drawing the foul there. So this is what they need. They need someone to step up and really take over. She knocks down the first one, even with that very rowdy crowd behind. So full credit to her for that.
Those UTAS boys, good grief. Reminding us of an NCAA kind of atmosphere over there.
The student section up there.
Yes, that is deemed now the student section of the floor. My goodness. Thompson, wraparound pass to Wong. Wong going baseline and gets the two.
Taking full advantage of her opportunity. Wong, a couple of nice finishes around the basket, and they've been scores that UTAS have needed. There hasn't been a whole heap of scoring outside of that.
Absolutely, and of course Wong has been a very handy player for Hobart Phoenix in their Division 2 side as well too in the TSBL competition throughout the year, so we know she can definitely hoop. And is that a turnover? It is to the University of Sunshine Coast. So margin here at 27 all of a sudden. Though it has been a good fight back because that lead was at one point there, we got out to 37, so they've been able to whittle that down by kind of 10. I assume at the moment, the quarter by quarter, third quarter, it'd be close, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's 20-13 at the moment, but as you say, biggest lead of 36, so they've done well in this last sort of 5 minutes to wrestle it back a bit, although that three from Thompson takes a little bit of wind out of their sails.
Yes, after what I thought was some really good building by the University of Sunshine Coast as well too. Been a good few minutes for them, but yes, that three does hurt, but good play there by the University of Sunshine Coast. Fleming with the two.
She's come alive, hasn't she, Fleming, doing some very nice things, but Thompson with the ball here. She's up to 33 points with that last triple.
Yep. Wong for three. Just off, and you can hear the crowd with the little ooh and ah there as well too. Great to have our effects mic on this afternoon as well too. Just making that atmosphere a whole lot better on broadcast. Meanwhile, Kessie had it kind of well defended by Nyhouse, and then Nyhouse again with a good defensive job there as Kessie couldn't get that two to go. So an opportunity here for UTAS once again to score. Ferguson at the corner for three. Just off. Blundell with the rebound. Now right here with it. Off to Fleming. Now Blundell from the top of the key. The bank is open on a regional holiday here in Hobart.
It is, and another big knockdown there. Margin back to 28 in the last minute of this quarter.
So Thompson now going cross court. Ferguson open for three is off. Brooks throwing one up. I think she had more time than what she fought there. So probably just a rush decision. But the University of Sunshine Coast will look to capitalise here. As Fleming now goes cross court. Right. Now Blundell once again. Similar spot. Near a similar finish. Kessie did a great job on the O boards there. And great job there by Mackenzie Kessie to save that possession for the University of Sunshine Coast.
She's battling hard, isn't she, Kessie? Saw her just off on a couple of tough layups on the last possession and then earning a side a second chance there. So 19 seconds on the game clock, 14 on the shot clock. What can the Sunshine Coast find to close out this quarter?
Let's see what they can do, Jacob. There's Fleming going to work. Nice spin. Good D by Nyhouse. Get that out of here, she says. Last play here of the quarter. Thompson on the downhill run with a lot of pace. Draws contact and will go to line for two.
You could just see that Shana Thompson wanted to take that one all the way. The seas parted for her and Sunshine Coast caught out of possession. All they could do was foul.
So Thompson here at the line for two. Knocks that one down.
Perfect 8 of 8 from the free throw line in this game, Shana Thompson.
And make a 9-9 for Shana Thompson. So now Sunshine Coast with the last say here. Bennett will need to throw one up, and that's all she wrote. I don't think they were aware of the game clock there, Jacob. So time just escaped them. So three-quarter time comes. It is University of Tasmania 76 to the University of Sunshine Coast 48 here on UniSport TV.
Said it a bit in that quarter. It was a better effort from the visitors, but at the end of it, the margin still pushed out further than it was at the main break. So you have to think this game is almost in the books now with that 28-point margin in hand and no sign of Erin Bowman coming back into the game. So a tough last quarter coming up here. But you know, we've seen funnier things, I think. Maybe not many stranger things, but we've seen stranger things before.
Well, I highly doubt it. But never say never. I mean, Halloween's next week, by the way, too. Fancy if we had the grand final on Halloween. But it's going to be a very tough task. You would need to come out guns blazing if you're the University of Sunshine coach. You'd really need to, well, you may need to take a page out of Anthony Stewart's book and say, all right, let's pressure up the floor. Let's try and convert at our end of the floor. And if you can get on a quick 10-sip run, it might just force the hand of Stewie to call timeout.
Well, that's what's going to take, isn't it? It's an early run that takes the crowd out of it, gets a few nerves sneaking in. Without that, UTAS, you'd think, will be on the home stretch to the championship here. But as we see, UTAS are back out on the floor ready for this quarter. Thompson on the bench. See what the Sunshine Coast come out with. You'd have to think at this point that we won't be seeing Erin Bowman back in the game.
No, it doesn't look like, well, she didn't come on that third quarter. She's there, right at the end of the bench there for the team. So, it's going to be interesting to see. Let's hope she does get out there, but it may not be worth the risk with the situation that the University of Sunshine Coast are in. We'll see what happens as the last quarter is underway here from the Rain Basketball Stadium here in Hobart. Great to have you with us by UniSport TV. This has been a fantastic way to end this season with the grand final here in Hobart. As UTAS looked to do what the men did only 24 hours ago, or less than 24 hours ago. But can Sunshine Coast get off to a good start here? Well, they get it back. So an opportunity here to try and score once again. But as we mentioned, it will need to be a bit of a quick run here in these first couple of minutes to try and get it back. Kessie, can she start the run? Well, she draws contact on the foul, so she will go to the line here for two.
Another nice take from Kessie. She's done some good things in these last few minutes of the game. Chance to get her first points on the board.
So Mackenzie Kessie at the line doing a degree of sports and exercise science. Plays down at Moreton Bay Suns. And apparently her wingspan is bigger than her herself. Interesting fun fact there. With as Kessie gets the two to go and able to block out the boys up there who have been very loud and rowdy, but again, it's been a great atmosphere here at Rain Basketball Stadium here for the 2025 University Basketball League Grand Final, all presented by New Balance. Of course, great to have them as the naming rights partner of the league as well too. Now, Banks getting a little bit stuck here. Finds a way though. Couldn't get that to go. Nice rebound there by Nason. And now Fleming just able to pick that one up and gets it off to Nason once again. So she's got the ball carrying duties here. Now ball out to Bennett. Now three ball by Blundell. Yes.
Nice shot from Blundell there. He's had some good moments in this game. They needed that one. Margin at 24.
Yep, 24 here. So again, a couple more baskets might just force the hand of Anthony Stewart potentially. Wells, though, try to party trick of her own. Wells needs to kick this one out. Murray now. Brooks hasn't been shooting that long ball here this afternoon, though. Draws contact and will go to the line for two. We know Hope Brooks can be that stretch five type of player, Jacob. But she hasn't been able to, find her opportunities from the three-point line today. It's been more inside today.
Yeah, just the one attempt. Maybe the Sunshine Coast, as we spoke about before, did their scouting on that and knew to take the three away from her, and she's done a really good job of sort of punishing those closeouts and getting herself to the basket.
So Brooks at the line here for two, knocks down the first. And Brooks will go 2 of 2. So Fleming quickly up the floor here. Kessie with a quick two, and that was very quick there by the University of Sunshine Coast.
Good job running the floor there, getting behind the defence, even after a free throw.
So Banks here with it. Banks looking to go. Banks up strong and gets the two. So nice work by Zoe Banks, really taking the paint strong, and with that floater gets the two. So now Kessie putting it to the floor. Kessie, good D by Murray. Brooks able to pick it up. And now Wells with it here. So Wells looking to go. So out to Banks. Banks being patient here with the UTAS offense, but she took her time and it was a good option as she gets that 2 to go.
A couple of great possessions for Banks there just to take some sting out of the game, slow things down. Good finishing.
Bennett trying to wait around. Blundell now. Now to Nason here. Nason able to get through. Now Blundell for 3 and she was able to draw contact and fouls on Murray, so Blundell to go to the line here for 3.
Quick release on that one after the catch. I don't think Murray was expecting the shot to go up, so forced the contact and the foul there. We see the substitution for the Sunshine Coast. Bennett goes to the bench and Zoe Drain is back into the game.
So Blundell here at the line for 2 as the student section is absolutely going bananas. And I'll be happy to see that ball rattle out.
I'll take credit for that one, bouncing back out.
Even the boys getting, young lads getting involved as well too. She knocks that one down as Banks and Blundell have a bit of a laugh down there. Good to see everyone enjoying themselves here at the Lorraine Basketball Stadium this afternoon. As Blundell goes 2 or 3. So 26 is our margin here currently at the moment. As Banks now really taking over the ball carrying duties. Looks like Thompson will have that extended breather because of the points margin at the moment. Now as that backcourt it is. As Murray there, but Murray just going over the timeline and good defense to really harass Murray on that one to force the turnover.
Yeah, did well. Just lost focus a little bit there as the half-court line came up pretty quickly. But as you mentioned, Thompson on the bench. We may have seen the last of her in this game. 35 points on the board. Her job's pretty much done now.
And Zoe Drain just running out of bounds there as well too. So the lines here of Rain catching everyone out. So Banks here with the ball carrying duties here for UTAS. Now Murray for 3. Yes.
Third triple of the game for Claire Murray. Up to 11 points. Third UTAS player in double figures.
So Drain here with it as she puts it to the floor. Good screen by Blundell. Drain though wanting to move this ball now. Fleming and just again the lines here just catching everyone out once again.
Full credit to UTAS. Another turnover forced. 20 in the game now for the Sunshine Coast, and that's fed so much of their offense. They've racked up a really big score here.
So Wells, she fires one from deep, couldn't get it to go. Banks with the O board. Now Ferguson thought about it. Now Murray here, 6 left on the shot clock. Murray needs to get busy. Floater is no good. Rebound by Fleming. Now Blundell here with it. Blundell going cross-court here to Drain. Nice running by Blundell. Should get the 2 and does.
She's almost lost her footing there. Lost the handle on it a bit, but flipped it up and in high off the glass. A really nice finish.
Yeah, no, lovely finish. 27 here, margin. Brooks and Murray didn't sync that one up well. So the ball goes out of bounds. Now, let's see. Right, and that looks like it's going to be Bella Heath back out on the floor here. So they are back out. And Murray to restart. 3 ball here by Drain, no good. So USC here trying to work the way through as that sun now beaming in the stadium here. And looks like Wong and Thompson will look to check back in here as Drain. She got it stripped by Murray. Murray has Ferguson's support, utilised it. Ferguson will pull up for 3 and knocks it down from downtown.
She's another one that's made some big shots, Ferguson. 4 triples for her in the game.
We have got back out to 30 here, under 5 to go. There's Drain now. Looking to go here. Drain up strong. Nice take by Zoe Drain, but couldn't get it done. Now Murray, Blundell, able to pick that one off. Now right, and there were some hands in there. I think that's going to be on Ferguson, it is. And so Wright will go to the line here for 2. And so we have a timeout here by University of Sunshine Coast. Nathan Rusi will still draw a few things up here. And, well, I was going to say, like I say, always the interesting thing when we get to the end of seasons here, and it's a little bit different with the universities compared to obviously in America, where you have either players returning or in the transfer portal. We don't have those kind of things here, Jacob, but it'll be interesting to see who kind of returns next year for all these teams, and especially with these 2 teams here, depending on what they do with their degree and whatnot.
Yeah, as you say, it's a little bit different to, club or higher level professional basketball,
yes,
where you ultimately have the decision of whether to come back and play or not, whereas the University Basketball League, it's all dependent on your studies. So, as you say, interesting to see who is back next season, but I think whatever happens with this UTAS team, anyone who doesn't come back is going out on a high, and anyone who's back next season will be very confident of going back-to-back the way they've played in this competition. Absolutely.
Now, I believe UTAS, of course, UTAS men are off to China, I think, later in the year for a tournament as such. And if the women get the win here, I mean, maybe we might call it in 1 minute, but if the women win, they'll also be off to China for a tournament as well too. I believe that's it's like a bit of like a Champions League type of tournament, like the Intercontinental Cup for FIBA.
Which is another great reward, isn't it, for a strong season? The kind of opportunities that most players might never get, or a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So that'll be something else for us to look forward to coming up.
Yes, absolutely. So UTAS, it looks like UTAS will certainly be having both their teams represented. So Thompson now putting it to the floor here. Wong will throw one up from deep. No good on that one. Nyhouse able to get the rebound. Nyhouse back on that one.
I think maybe didn't realise the shot clock had reset there.
Yes. And Wong nearly got it off Drain. Drain kicks this one out. 2 from Heath. Yes, Bella Heath from the mid-range.
Feels like they've sort of rediscovered their offensive rhythm a little bit late in this game. Sunshine Coast, it's just come too late and hasn't been matched with the defensive effort that's been required.
Yeah. But again, it was such a promising start in the first quarter, though, Jacob, as we see nearly another 2. Last touch by Bartlett. But it was just when the turning point was when we had Bowman go out of the game. I think that was really the turning point right there.
It was. She's such a key player for them on both ends of the floor. It really just changes the whole game plan when she's not out there, as we see a nice putback there from Berry. She's had some good moments in this game, but yeah, it's just so tough to adjust on the fly, isn't it, when you lose someone who's so central to everything that you do.
Absolutely, and of course, yes, we'll have to try and see if we can get an update somehow, some way. We might have to send you out for further information when we send you down, Jacob. Of course, we'll get Jacob to have a chat with one of the UTAS players after their win. I'm not sure what the formal procedures are as well too. We'll try and get our interview straight off the bat if we can. But we do, of course, we'll show presentations live as well too, folks. It's Blundell from downtown that knocks it down.
Shown off some good range, hasn't she, Blundell, late in this game?
Margin is at 21 here. Just hold on to your hats, folks. Thompson, though, couldn't get that to go. Wong with the rebound. Bartlett and Thompson on the back door here, yes.
That's a nice steadier, isn't it?
Yes,
just in case any nerves might have been creeping in. Thompson up to 37 points now.
Yeah, Thompson with a big game. Right. Now Blundell for back-to-back triples. Yes! Back to 20.
Maybe they should have been feeding her earlier in this game because she's up to 15 points now. Has made 3 threes.
Nyhouse. And then, an interception here as Wright off and running. Wright wants to go. Nice turnaround off glass. Couldn't get it to go. And a foul here. And it's going to be on, it looks like it's going to be on Drain there. So Drain draws the foul. Under 2 to go here. I think I'm still not ready to call it yet. Give us another 58 seconds, Jacob, and we'll see. And then we might call it, because a stop here. Though Thompson try to close the game out with that one. Now inside to Strasma. That's the stop that the University of Sunshine Coast are looking for. Now they need to get a quick score here. So he from deep, yes, back to 17.
Well, it still feels like it might be too little too late, but it's been a nice burst to finish at the very least, making things interesting.
Wong for the dagger. No good. Another rebound here and a foul. That'll be UTAS's 4th team. So that needs to be the other thing too here. Now that the University of Sunshine Coast might be aware that UTAS are in that foul team limit, might be an opportunity just to play the long game out here potentially.
Yeah, if they can get to the line early, stop the clock, you never know.
Drain looking for a quick 2, draws contact, and that will be its 15th foul. So good heads-up play there by Zoe Drain, understanding the situation, attacking strong, and able to draw contact here with a bit of 14 to go.
Yeah, no time off the clock, a chance to cut into that lead a little bit more now.
So Drain here at the line for 2, misses the first.
Sunshine Coast winning the quarter 25-14 so far.
That's huge.
A good positive run for them.
Absolutely. Drain goes 1 and 2, 16 now. Yeah. So another stop crucial here for the University of Sunshine Coast. And there it is. So Drain, now Heath, Blundell, who's had the hot hand, draws the foul. And let's see if Blundell can knock down free throws here.
And after all this, only about 10 seconds run off the clock, so they're doing everything they need to give themselves even the tiniest of chances, the Sunshine Coast.
Blundell knocks down the first. 15 the margin. And we stay at 15. Thompson with the rebound here. Thompson up the floor. Bartlett was able to leak out there. Strasma, good running, and the 2.
Another great heads-up play from Bartlett, wasn't it? Didn't force the shot up. Really nice running as well to get the layup.
Absolutely. I think that might be all she wrote here. Heath, though, has nearly had other ideas, but I think after that one, I think we can safely call it. As Strasma goes up, couldn't get the 2 to go, gets her own rebound, goes up again, and this time makes no mistake about it.
And that should be the icing on the cake, shouldn't it?
It should be, but a great fight back by the University of Sunshine Coast. They've really worked hard in this last quarter, and probably this second half as well too, to get that margin back to respectable terms. As the 2 there for Heath couldn't go. Now Thompson up the floor here, and no call on the play, so play continues. Bartlett for a long 2, couldn't get that to go. And that might be all she wrote here, as Heath will try and play this one out. And an offensive foul on Bella Heath, and that's probably the exclamation point right there.
Yeah, still putting her body on the line right to the end, Leah Bartlett. That sums up the efforts of this team. Really kept the foot down through that whole first 3 quarters when it really mattered, and closed the game out early.
And Strasma puts the finishing touches on, and let the celebrations begin for the University of Tasmania, as they are champions of the New Balance University Basketball League. Final scores in the end were UTAS 96, the University of Sunshine Coast 75. And well, as we mentioned there, Jacob, a great fight back by USC, but it was that second quarter that was really the changing point of that game.
It was, yeah. They put the foot down in a big way, blew the game open with the 27-10 quarter, kept the foot down in the third. And in the end, they were able to hold off that late fight back to win pretty comfortably still. And what a season it's been for UTAS. Lost their first game on the road. They haven't lost since. Pretty hard to argue with that as the champions of the league.
Absolutely. And, well, UTAS have created history here by winning both the men's and women's competition here for the first time in their inception here in the competition. And massive congratulations to them. Now, I reckon if we can, now I'm going to turn Toby off here for a second. We have to pull his out, and we're going to send Jacob. So great game here by UTAS. Yep. Let me turn. Now, can you hear Toby? You can. Very good. All right. So we're just trying to sort out what the presentation format might be. I know they're trying to get. So just bear with us, folks, as we try and see if Jacob is trying to get Shana Thompson. All right, so Shana Thompson with 57 points. And, well, she's our player of the game. And let's throw down to Jacob right now.
Yes, Ronnie, down here. Some very loud celebrations with Shana Thompson. Shana, champions of the Uni Basketball League. How does that feel?
It's amazing. Do I hold that or you hold that? Cool. It's an amazing feeling, really. Like, hats off to the girls. Like, we came in knowing that this was going to be a tough game. They added a really talented player from last time we played them, you know. So we did the scout and we stayed to it and got the job done. So really proud of the girls and time to celebrate, I think, with the boys.
We had a similar chat after the semi-final, but another big game for you, 37 points. You've played in a lot of big games. How proud are you of the way that you were able to sort of step up under that pressure and with a crowd like this?
Yeah, as I said last week, I don't really focus on the individual points. Like, we had targets to tick and goals that we wanted to do throughout the game, and we did it. And we also had, you know, girls that played limited minutes that came on and knocked down shots. Like, Jasper came down and knocked a shot. Like, Ellie Ferguson, like Claire Murray, like, they come in and do their role, which makes my job easier as well. So, yeah, it's not just credit to me, but to all the girls as well.
You lose your first game of the season. You don't lose since then. What is it about this group that's so good, you know, that's made everything work so well this year?
Yeah, obviously the first game we'd never played together as a group, so, you know, trying to figure out how people work and how people play. But Stewie hit the nail on the head in the change room. He said this team, their work ethic and their grit, we never give up and we always push to the end. So, yeah, I think that's just, you know, such a united group, and it definitely shows on the floor.
To keep an eye.
Just before we let you go to the presentations and to celebrate, what do the celebrations look like? 2 teams with championship trophies. How are you going to enjoy it?
You know, I think we might just go into the UTAS library and have a couple of waters, I think. That's the most appropriate thing to do.
Yeah, a little extra study session. We'll keep all the UTAS people in the building happy. Shana Thompson, congratulations. A great game, a great win. Go and enjoy it.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you, Jacob, and thank you, Shana, as Shana Thompson there, 57 points, and what a game by her. Just unbelievable. Now we'll throw the effects mic up a little bit again, because they'll have presentations, and we will throw those presentations as well too for your viewing folks, and we'll stay on air here for a little while longer, as we might need Toby to give the headset back to Jacob there, because I know Toby had to listen in on the interview as well too there. So while they're just quickly setting up here, Jacob, a huge win in the context of the game there.
It was,
for UTAS.
Yeah, given, you know, the pressure coming in of a grand final, a big crowd in the building, the occasion of it all, trophy on the line as we see out there now for the presentations. It really was a clinical performance from UTAS. Hard to find much fault with it. And, yeah, really top to bottom on the roster, the coaching staff, they all did their jobs perfectly.
They certainly did. Again, credit to Anthony Stewart and Mark Nash. And, of course, I know Swishers had a big involvement with the UTAS program as well too. So I haven't had a text message yet from one David Bartlett, but I'm sure we'll get one at some stage. I'm sure David Bartlett, if you tune in, send us a text message, mate. He'll be very happy because, one, his New York Knicks won today. And now UTAS women have taken out the women's championship as well too. So huge in the context of things here, Jacob. And the boys are loving the celebrations here at the moment.
Yeah, I did think about maybe grabbing either one of the women's coaches or one of the boys, but it felt like the presentations were on standby for us for a bit there, so we'll get through them at least now.
I think let's get through them, and just remarkable how things have just happened over the last few years when UTAS first started all this, along with all the other universities that wanted to take part as well too. It's been a great concept, and really we're trying not trying to mirror what the NCAA do, but trying to have a similarity to it. And I think it's been great to have this extra level competition here in the country.
I think that's what it is, isn't it? It's just an extra opportunity for players to play at a really high level. We've seen players with that NBL 1 experience in this competition, but some of them might not play huge minutes at that level. Some of them might not be with teams at that level, playing club basketball at a really high level. So for them to be able to come in to a program, like UTAS, like the Sunshine Coast, and have the opportunity to travel, play against other really high-quality teams, it's just another opportunity for development for some of these young players. And I think the more opportunities you have like that, the better. There's really no downside to a competition like this.
No, certainly not. And it's great. It's great to see, and for us as commentators too, it gives us a little bit of extra work as well too, which we really enjoy. Of course, a massive thank you to Sportscast Australia who do all the live streams, and of course we just come in with some of the gear and call these games. But what we do see, Jacob, and it's a little bit like in NBL 1 coverage that we cover, and as you mentioned, we do get to see some of these players that get that exposure, and we really keep an eye on them for the next few years because they're kind of the next thing to go to that next level. Yeah,
next generation of players. We've seen them play bigger roles on these UTAS teams, men's and women's. Seen what they can do, and now we get to sit back and watch as hopefully they take that up to the next stage and continue to progress. And well, it's been really exciting to have the opportunity to watch. And an exciting opportunity to watch is David Bartlett. He's heard us on the call, which is fantastic. He's tearing up, and we don't blame DB for that, because he'd be very proud for the UTAS teams. And he does say here in some of the text messages, so proud of the athletes and the coaches who, of course, he's friends, and of course the co-founders of Swisher as well too. As we mentioned, Swisher with a big involvement with the UTAS basketball program here. So it's been fantastic. And just to quickly, okay, I'll paraphrase a little bit here. I just do the computers, but I feel part of something very special here. We have the best uni basketball program in Australia. We are Duke. Big statement coming from David Bartlett. But of course, I like it as well too, Jacob and DB. No, that's good. I'm liking how we are comparing ourselves to Duke. No, of course, Duke, a very famous university basketball program in the States, and we're just slowly trying to get these presentations underway. I don't mind if we do the Rigs and Dual podcast from right now. I've seen some great stuff on the court. We saw just a moment ago. Yuet Wong with a fan club, the men's team, a photo with the trophy. So really, really good to see. I think that's another positive of a competition and programs like this. The two teams sort of coming together, playing those double headers, and then now having the chance to celebrate a championship together. Really, really good for all involved. Yes. Now we're nearly there with the presentations. Just bear with us, folks, as we keep going through here. We are ready to go here from up in the broadcast, because I'm ready to turn up the effects mic and so you can listen in. So I don't now have the University of Sunshine Coast head to the locker room. Now this is the interesting part they have actually. So I think we're more just waiting for them to come out, because there are runners-up medallions here as well too. Usually, in most competitions there are. I mean, certainly, of course, in some of the bigger leagues, Jacob, we don't see those kind of runner-up things, but it's really good to see here that there's some runner-up medallions. And, full credit to the University of Sunshine Coast as well too. They've had a great season and been able to work their way, back to what was a tough start at the start of the year against UTAS, and they've just been able to, work nicely and find their way back, and then
be in a grand final. And they're never easy to make as well too. We've got to stress that as well too, folks. Never easy making these grand finals. But when you do get here, it's a great achievement. It's sweeter to win it, but still, I'm pretty sure they'd be pretty proud of making it this far.
Definitely, and I think those runner-up medals, as you say, they're not something that you really want in the moment, but I think these players can look back down the line and as you say, be very proud of what they've achieved this season. Even just looking at the finals, to come from fourth on the ladder and win their way through, not an easy thing to do. A lot of games on the road. We saw how hostile the crowd was here. I'm sure they overcame some similar ones on their path to the grand final. So a really strong season for them. And as we said before, you never know who comes back year on year, but I'm sure this is something that as a program they can really build on from here.
Yes, absolutely. No, it's going to be. We're looking forward to the next season already. Of course, it was at the start of around about early part of the year, but then for this year they pushed it back to I believe second semester in university terms. Jacob, I'm not up with all those terms, but probably a better time of the year to have it. I'm not sure if that's to do with more student availability, or if it just works out with study and classes or lectures and whatnot, but. Whatever they decided, obviously it's worked dividends. So,
yeah, I think it's worked nicely. We've seen good buy-in across the board, and it's made for a really good competition.
Yes, absolutely. For those just tuning in, the University of Tasmania winning this one by 21 points, 96-75 against the University of Sunshine Coast. We are just on hold here for presentations, which we want to bring you live, folks. And I'm sure Sportscast Australia don't have an issue with us just kind of blabbering on here for a little bit longer.
Give a quick rundown of the stats if you like while we wait, as we've got some time to kill. We spoke about it before, but Shana Thompson, 37 points in the game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, just the 1 turnover. Hard to find too many faults in a game like that from her, and we've seen it plenty of times in big games before. Ellie Ferguson made some big shots. She finished with 14 points off the bench, 4 made triples. Claire Murray had 11. Emerson Wells did a bit of everything, 7 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists and 2 steals. Pope Brooks scored 8 and had 7 rebounds, so it did feel like a really nice balanced effort from UTAS across the board, really.
It certainly did, and they had some, as you mentioned, good contributors across the whole team, and not only on the scoring side of things, but at the defensive end as well too. We saw some big defensive plays by UTAS early on, which really set up. It's probably more in that, late towards that first quarter where they were able to get some stops, able to peg their way back into the ballgame. And then, as we've kind of mentioned it before, the second quarter where really the whole tide of the game just turned, and therefore UTAS able to just push out, and then all of a sudden, before we know it, it was a 10-point lead to UTAS, and then it just kept building from there.
Yeah, as you say, that second term, 27-10. There was a 21-0 scoring run in among that. Blew that lead out to 36 at one point. So, from there, realistically, the job was just about done for UTAS, and full credit to them for just putting the pedal to the metal and absolutely blowing away the visitors.
All right. I think they've sent someone from University of Sunshine Coast there to let them know that, hey, we'd like to conduct presentations. I'm just seeing some of the... now they're all coming out of the locker room, I think. I think Nathan Arusi just probably wanted to address the team first before the girls come back out here. And I think of course, being a regional holiday down here, I don't know if half the girls here have to go to school tomorrow or some of them might have to work or whatnot, but I'm sure celebrations will go deep into tonight.
Yeah, I think so. And, if it's anything like some of the sports teams I've been around, they would have booked in that Friday off in advance once they found out when the grand final was. But no, there's hopefully a chance to celebrate tonight and as we say, be very proud of the success they've had, both teams this year.
Yep, no, the UTAS boys are still, they're down the they're down the bottom there, and as you can. All right, here we go. So we'll throw down to the presentations.
take different universities to play, which is a privilege and something reasonably loud, so we're excited for groups. I want to acknowledge it's good to be on the men and women of Tasmania had a really good win that men's semi-final to get into the grand final and UniSC. Congratulations to you boys, and credit for turning up today when probably had a big night. To Anthony and Tate Brennan, you guys have been all year, really, that's how we felt that way. You're nothing short of very, very good again today. Congratulations on that. To the fans here, you guys made some serious noise. If I wasn't on the losing side, it would have been great. But the attitude is great, and that's what we love playing in those environments. Just quickly to my group. We spoke in the rooms, but the reality is that this is the first time a UniSC program has got to a grand final. We hosted the first ever semi-final. We've created history within. It's not easy to lose games, but we can come back and reload next year, and I'm super proud of you guys as a group collective. I just want to say, hey, before I call this, I check out the program for I genuinely say, because we talk every day, I'm sure it's not to your liking, but the energy puts in for our group, our experience over those our experience out there is really truly sensational. Quarterfinal, semi-final, with people there, with partners, and helped us get to a grand final. So none of that comes without your hard work, Lisa. Thank you.
also the referee bench, obviously can't do how good the crowds are. I've been around basketball a long time, and it's a great atmosphere, and really appreciate everyone coming along. The name of the new team, probably we ended up playing with you guys early in the year, but obviously changed the whole dynamics of the team. Just watching the last couple of games, when we were playing like this sort of thing we can handle, and we knew we had to throw a lot of pressure around that.
Okay, I think that concludes presentations. We might just have a quick minute or two here before we sign off, Jacob, because UTAS have done the unthinkable, and as we heard no speech. Now, apologies, the wireless mic down there kind of cut out. I think that's because of the Bluetooth distance within the stadium. So they just went.
We've found that with our post-game interviews at times over the years.
Yes,
so.
we have seen that. They went rogue, but I'm hoping you were able to pick up most of that. But to quickly paraphrase there from some of the keynotes there, this is the first time that a university has gone both men's and women's championships in the one go, and UTAS have created more history there as much as both teams have won their first championship each. As a whole school, they've done it in both the men's and women's.
Yeah, and it really does speak to the strength of the program they've built in a pretty short time, doesn't it? Really fantastic achievement, and anytime you can make a little bit of history, that's something to be very proud of. So a huge achievement for players from both sides for UTAS, and a massive season for them across the board.
Absolutely, we'll try not to. We'll get a few thank yous in as UTAS celebrate down on the floor there. Of course, my thanks to everyone that's been involved, to the guys back in the back end up in Melbourne, where they kind of control everything around, and even in telling us if we're too loud or we're not so loud. A massive thank you to Sportscast Australia, who do a great job of covering a lot of local competition, and of course they've been heavily involved with the New Balance University Basketball League as well too. So a massive thank you to the guys in Melbourne to help make the stream happen. We just plug in and then we just talk away for a couple of hours really, and we just baffle on. So a massive thank you to them. A massive thank you to the University of Tasmania. Of course, they've always been very nice, reaching out to myself, and then of course I go find people like Jacob and others, and there's a big celebration going down there with both the teams down there. But a massive thank you to the University of Tasmania for allowing us to jump on here and call these games, because they're a lot of fun to do. My thanks to you, Jacob, for jumping on, and as I say, it's been great to have you back in commentary with us this year in all sorts of competitions that we're all involved in across Hobart, and it's been fun as always.
It has a lot of fun, as you say. Across NBL 1, Summer Slam, but especially with a couple of championships for UTAS in the UBL, been really good to be involved. So thank you for getting me on board again, and really enjoyed it, and I hope everyone's enjoyed tuning in and watching these games, because I know we've enjoyed watching it from here. Absolutely.
Massive thanks to Toby, who's jumped on camera. Toby is a university student, by the way, doing studying media and other things in the Bachelor of Arts sector as well too. But Toby's been with us for most of the games this season, and always a pleasure to have Toby with us on the camera as well too. And really a massive thank you to UniSport. They've been fantastic. I know, talking with the ladies from UniSport that came down, they were loving how everything was going down here. They even loved my own personal promos I did on my own Instagram thing, just to give them a bit of boost and a bit of coverage. But this is going to go into leaps and bounds, this competition, I have no doubt, and we're going to see some more exciting talent as we go along in the years to come, Jacob.
Absolutely. A lot of good things happening, as we heard about there in the presentations. 2 new teams in the grand final for the first time in the women's, and I think it's only going to grow further from here. Hopefully some more teams, more really talented players, and more opportunities across the board.
Now, we did see a few spare gold medals down there. Surely we can have one for calling the women's grand final, surely.
I would have thought so, yeah.
I would have thought so, but no, it's been an honour and a privilege to be calling the grand final alongside you, Jacob, as well too. I think that's our gold medal in itself. It's not every day we get to call grand finals, so to have one like this at this level is pretty cool, I reckon. So that might make up, but we'll try and hassle them maybe to see if we can speak about it. Maybe, no, jokes aside, no. It is all good. That'll pretty much wrap us up here from the Roraine Basketball Stadium. In the end, it was University of Tasmania winning this one by 25 in the end, I think. We're somewhere around those lines, and they are, of course, the New Balance University Basketball League champions. and they kind of now join their men's counterpart as well as the men got the win yesterday over in Sydney against the University of Sydney, 79-70 in that game. So the University of Tasmania claimed a double and the first university in the New Balance University Basketball League history to do so within its short span of 5 years of this competition going. That means for the University of Tasmania, they will be off to China for a round-robin tournament of some sorts. We'll probably find out more information as we go along. And I'm sure more details will come throughout the UTAS and UniSport socials. Once again, thank you for tuning in by UniSport TV. Of course, always a free account to sign up for as well too, so don't be afraid to sign up and get ready for next year already. We'll all be getting ready for next year, that is for sure. But on behalf of Jacob Dool, Toby on camera, and all our hard-working crew back in Melbourne as well too, I am Ronald Riggs. We are signing out of here for the last time in 2025 in the New Balance University Basketball League. It is good evening, and we'll see you next year.